Hello and good day, welcome to our YouTube channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview. Book of Nahum, Chapter 2. Let's get started now. The Book of Nahum, Chapter 2 is a continuation of the prophetic book in the Old Testament of the Bible. It contains a prophecy of the destruction of Nineveh, the capital of the Assyrian Empire. The chapter begins with a description of the attack on Nineveh and the panic it causes among its citizens. It then moves on to the reasons for the city's downfall and the lesson that can be learned from it. The first verse of the chapter describes the attacking army as a scatterer who will come against Nineveh. This description emphasizes the idea that God is using this army to bring judgment upon the city. It also highlights the theme of judgment that runs throughout the Book of Nahum. The second verse continues the description of the attacking army, stating that they will break through Nineveh's defenses and plunder its treasures. This description emphasizes the idea that God is using this army to punish Nineveh for its wickedness and to take away its power and wealth. The third verse describes the chaos and panic that will ensue among the citizens of Nineveh as they try to flee from the attacking army. This description emphasizes the idea that God's judgment will not only affect the rulers of Nineveh but also the common people who supported them. The fourth and fifth verses continue the description of the attacking army, stating that they will come upon the city like a flood and that the walls of the city will be destroyed. This description emphasizes the overwhelming power of God's judgment and the idea that nothing can stand against it. The sixth verse describes the fate of Nineveh's palaces, which will be looted and destroyed by the attacking army. This description emphasizes the idea that God is using this army to take away the city's power and prestige. The seventh verse describes the aftermath of Nineveh's destruction, stating that its people will be scattered and that its leaders will flee. This description emphasizes the idea that God's judgment will be final and complete, leaving nothing of Nineveh's power or influence behind. The final verse of the chapter declares that Nineveh will be utterly destroyed and that it will be a place of desolation and mourning. This verse emphasizes the finality of God's judgment and the idea that those who reject Him will suffer the consequences of their actions. The Book of Nahum, Chapter 2 teaches several important lessons that can be applied to our day-to-day lives. First, it emphasizes the importance of living in obedience to God's commands. Nineveh's downfall was a direct result of its wickedness, and the chapter serves as a warning that those who persist in sin will eventually face the consequences of their actions. Second, the chapter emphasizes the idea that nothing can stand against the power of God's judgment. Nineveh was a powerful city, but it was no match for the overwhelming force of God's wrath. This lesson reminds us that we should not place our trust in worldly power or wealth, but in the power of God. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the idea that God is just and will not allow the guilty to go unpunished. This lesson reminds us that we should strive to live justly and to seek justice for those who have been wronged. In conclusion, the Book of Nahum, Chapter 2 is a prophetic book that teaches several important lessons about God's character and His relationship with His people. It emphasizes the importance of living in obedience to God's commands, the overwhelming power of God's judgment, and the justice of God. These teachings have practical applications in our day-to-day lives, reminding us to live justly, trust in God's power, and seek refuge in Him during times of trial. Overall, the Book of Nahum, Chapter 2 provides a powerful message of hope and warning for those who seek to follow God. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.